And good Saturday morning. I think I got all my duckies in a row and we're ready to go. 54 as you're waking up today. Going to be warmer, 85. So that's a little bit drastic change there from the 50s to the 80s, but not a bad day at all. We've got your complete forecast right around the corner as we begin this to get you updated on everything that's gone in the community. Want to remind you of this as we'll get into the forecast in a moment, but as always, we remind you, take care of your pets as we posted this yesterday. It's going to be a little bit cooler on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. We're expecting somewhere around 33 on Tuesday night, maybe 34 on Wednesday night. Your pets will get cold, so we want them to be taken care of. So if you get a chance between now and then, go ahead and build something for them, get them some hay if they stay outside, or let them in that utility room if they're outside pets. As we begin today, Clark County, want to remind you of this going on as we turn to our friends at Clark County Hot Topics. Hazardous Waste Day is going on in Clark County right now from 8 until noon at the Clark County Emergency Management Building. If you've got any hazardous waste, you can bring it by there. Call ahead if you want to and talk to them about what is eligible if you need to also. But a good thing. Hope you can drop by and take care of what you need to there. As we said, 54 right now. We'll look at radar in a moment to get us all prepared for what we've got. Traffic was slowed down a little bit this morning as daylight was breaking. I think this happened somewhere around 5:30. A 3-vehicle accident would happen right on I-20. As we pull this up to take a look, this would be right past the Queen City truck stop, exit 150 after you go over the westbound lane. 18-wheeler was leaking fuel. Lima and emergency officials arrived on the scene to take care of it. I don't think anybody was seriously hurt, but I think they were checked out and taken to the hospital, which is good. As we look, we did have a small car chase last night through the streets of Meridian. Okay, y'all would have had to have seen what I just saw. My puppy dog, Sophie, my bigger dog, who was standing up on her 2 feet as I looked, decided that she didn't want to be in the studio anymore, standing up against the wall with her paw trying to open the door to the studio to leave. It was funny. You had to have seen it, though. I don't have a camera that direction to have seen that. Bless her heart. All right, as I mentioned a moment ago, there was a small car chase last night as we pulled this up to take a look. This all began on 14th Street and 9th Avenue. They would flee from police and not stop. It would stop on 16th Street and 18th Avenue is where Meridian Police finally got them to stop just before we get to Anderson's Hospital there. I do believe a taser was used. No one injured. Someone got a ride to jail over that one. We did have a fender bender yesterday on North Hill Street, and so common this area. I urge you as you make your plans each day and you come in and out of this area, whether it's out of the Broadmoor Shopping Center or from over where Popeyes is, crossing all those lanes of traffic, always an accident there, and that happened again last night also. Damage up your car, even if you have to take a right-hand turn and go down and come back up, better than having a wreck. Safe than sorry is the way they put that. As we look around, we also had an accident. This is another common area throughout the area. I'm saying that word too many times. At Highway 19 South, southeast is where this occurred as we pull this up. During homecoming in southeast last night, another wreck right there at the red light. No major injuries or anything like that, but did slow down traffic for just a moment there. They got that all cleaned up. But an accident there last night. Slowed down things a little bit later. We're still learning more about this. We brought this up yesterday as we found out more about what happened in Lake Mississippi. Our friends over at Dark Horse Press have covered this and been following this also as we pulled this up. Teenager shot and killed was a member of the football team there. They have no clue as to why. They said good kid, never been in trouble in his life, was shot in his car. As players, if I'm understanding this right, descended upon the coach's house, someone passed by and shot in the air. No one was injured, but that's what we're understanding that went on. We hope whoever did this is brought to justice as this 18-year-old man loses his life. A senior, full of life, things to go. Senseless is the only way we know to word that. Someone else, this happened in the capital city, not in Meridian, but boy, we talk about this a lot. I-55, if you've been down it lately, it's as close to Atlanta as we've got. It's busy in Jackson, Mississippi, probably the busiest roadway we've got. A person was walking down the edge of the road and they were struck by a car. They were pronounced deceased at the scene. If you've been to any of the hospitals in Jackson, you've traveled that stretch of road or going up County Line Road where the malls are and all the activities in that area. Be careful as you travel over there. We find out, do you remember us talking about the 9-year-old girl that was killed in Jackson? They've made an arrest in this, and I guess you would almost word this contributing to the crime. An 18-year-old handed the handgun to a minor, and then the accident happened. We'll find out what those charges and what can happen with it. I'm not sure how much time you can get from that, but it was a bad situation. 9-year-old little baby girl lost her life. She was hit in the neck as the gun went off. As we look at this, I get confused over this. Again, my thoughts on crime may not be the same as yours. I've never looked at as a gun being the culprit of the crime. It's the person behind the gun that causes the problem. That's the way I look at it. Now, you may look at it differently. I do not. But as we look at what's happening in Jackson, one of the council members says they need to do something about the crime and goes on to say that they need to probably halt gun shows because people buy so many guns and this leads to everything. I don't think the legal guns are causing these problems. Do y'all? Am I wrong? If I am, please let me know. I think a lot of the crime that happens are with stolen guns. Not everyone, but a large portion of these. And as we always see, crime continues whether they have that weapon or a different weapon. It goes back to the people. I really think it's time that in America we step forward and take responsibility for what's really going on. It's people doing the crimes. And until we get that straightened out, this is not going to be fixed. Just my opinion. Again, if you disagree with me, let me know. I always like to hear your thoughts on that. As we go to Macomb, we have one person that is deceased in a drug overdose. All too often do we see this. Our streets of America everywhere is covered with this. I don't know if you've lately, as we take the focus off Mississippi, we've got a problem. West Virginia, a huge problem. You go to San Francisco, pull up pictures. You'll see I'm not lying on this. People stumbling down sidewalks. You would be even shocked that it's the streets of America. There's a lot of places we look like a third world country now. Did I mention that in some cities, although it's illegal, they rope off a little area and say, come do your drugs in here. We won't arrest you in here. A safe zone. Oh, yeah, we also have sanctuary cities to where if you're illegal, it's okay to be illegal in the city. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it? We did see that yesterday, almost into Vicksburg. A wreck happened. An Arkansas man lost his life in an accident there on I-20 right before you get to the Mississippi River Bridge. Condolences to his family. Be careful as you travel no matter where you go. Always watch the other guy. It may not you. Be prepared for what they're going to do. Sometimes there's no way around it. We looked to Hattiesburg for another headline this morning. This happened back in July, but finally an arrest has been made. At a Waffle House, a gun was fired. Somebody was hit. The two people, it was two ladies, left the scene. She was found, taken into custody yesterday. Pretty good one there. Do you remember us talking about the grain bin in the Mississippi Delta? Someone lost their life. It was 3 workers working on it. And somehow or another, as we found out more information about this, it's a 20-year-old man that lost his life. A young fella trying to make a living there. He was most likely a migrant worker. We don't know all the details, but I do know that he was from the Republic of South Africa working. Somehow or another, the grain bin turned on. It was clogged. They were inside it working. The grain began to fill up. The 3 were buried. The other 2 were rushed to a hospital, and he lost his life. Horrifying. Horrifying. The first reports that they were on the top and fell in, but as we dig deeper into this, it looks as though they were working and it automatically came back on. The clog must have come off. They couldn't get it shut off in time. Awful, awful. South Haven, that's at the northern portion of the state. As we look at some headlines this morning, folks have been going to ATMs falsely. And we go back to Dark Horse Press. She shared a picture with us on this of a lady that they're looking for. This has happened in Memphis. This has happened in other areas. Same person going around using an ATM falsely. As we pull up that picture, they're looking for her if you happen to recognize her. Again, that's South Haven Police Department releasing those pictures. That's near the Mississippi line going up toward Memphis there, as far as you can go. We did have another fatal crash in the state of Mississippi, Hancock County on Highway 43. A person lost his life. Mississippi Highway Patrol has really been busy lately. As we look at a few national stories this morning that are shaping America, you've heard of Paul Ryan. Do y'all remember that name? He was the Speaker of the House when Trump took over. Hadn't heard from him really since then, when he quit, went home, done whatever he did. But trust me, he's been busy behind the scenes. I don't think him and Trump were good friends, were they? Anybody remember this guy? He is saying, and again, keep in mind, when someone is scared of someone, they go to talking about them, trying to convince you that they're not the right person. He makes a statement that there's absolutely no way that Trump could even get elected as the candidate for the Republicans. Keep that in mind. Those that are scared of people say things like this. He says the only reason other people don't speak up against him is they're scared of him. Paul Ryan. I think you're trying to put words into people's mouth. Just my opinion. It might be you that's actually scared of him. Most likely there. This we go to North Carolina for our next headline across America. Boy, talk about drawing a line in the sand. As most of you do, you get these little notices in the mail every once in a while that you got jury duty. You show up, you walk in, there's no signs whatsoever. There's no mask mandate in the state. There's not one in the courthouse. The judge demands that you and the 98 other people that have walked in wear a mask. And you go, wait a minute. There's no law. There's no signs that says this. And he says, one more word out of you, if you don't put the mask on, you'll go to jail. And he goes, well, I'm not wearing it. Off to jail he went. Spent 24 hours in the pokey. He said that he was stripped of his clothes, made wear an orange jumpsuit, and thrown in with common criminals for standing up for his right. Now, the judge had passed a little, I don't know how they worded, that in his courtroom only, I think possibly the only person in the state that had a mask mandate. And then as he was telling the young man that he must wear a mask, I don't think the judge was wearing one. He is considering suing. What an embarrassment. Just showed up to do his civic duty. There is not a mask mandate. I think most of us know by now that, well, they really didn't help a whole lot, did they? Oh, we've got someone else. As this big push across America to make you think that gasoline is awful, they keep on with the electric. Now, one day, and we all know this, that one day this will be fine-tuned and that there will be alternatives to gasoline-powered cars. One day that is going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. They're in the works. They try to build these things, but sometimes people take part of the truth and twist it to try to make you think that their idea is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Do y'all remember a few months back? And I thought when I saw it, wow, an 18-wheeler that is running off electric batteries. Look at it go. Well, it really wasn't what we thought. As we find out more, and he's been found guilty, a billionaire, founder of the electric company firm Nikola, and I'm probably mispronouncing it. You pronounce it N-I-K, you spell it N-I-K-O-L-A. Guess what they did? They got on a hill and pushed the truck down and filmed it. Made it look as though the electric 18-wheeler was working fine. Invest in our company. They did more than stretch the truth there, didn't they? It's kind of like these videos that you see constantly put out against police officers where they take a little clip and you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. When in reality, if you were to back it up and show the entire footage, the police officer 90% of the time didn't do what they're accused of. They went on to make you believe that they'd invented an electric 18-wheeler that worked perfectly. Shame, shame, and shame. We'll see what becomes of his. I'm sure his stocks are sinking now with that. How horrible to lie like that. I don't agree with it and don't stand up for it. We try to tell you what we know and what we find out that is the truth across America. Have mercy, have mercy. We'll be right back with a closer look at your forecast to let you know what's happening today and that colder weather that is approaching next week. As we tell you, keep those pets warm. We got all that and much more coming up here in just a moment. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. As Bonnie puts out, it's not Trump she's scared of. It's Hillary that she might be scared of. Good point there. A few other people were commenting on these electric cars. Can't afford them. They are very expensive. Now, again, I think everybody would agree the concept of it does sound great. But as we keep seeing in Texas, as James put out there, the power grids can't handle it. How many times have we read they go, wait a minute, don't charge your car tonight. Power can't handle it. One day it will work out. You know, I've been told, I remember when I was in VOAG in high school, someone spoke of a car that had been invented, and I don't know this to be true. So before I say this story, I have no way of backing it up. But I was told as a kid when I was in VOAG that a car had been invented one time. It was fueled off water. It was immediately bought, destroyed. They didn't want that out there. Of course not. They make way too much money. It will be a long time. And as well as we know is one of the biggest things in medical is we're starting to hear that maybe one day they'll have a cure for cancer. There's a lot of money made off of this. Not everybody has everyone's best interest in things that want to find a cure because, well, they make a little money off of it. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. Common sense there. We do hope that one day that a cure is found for that. As I've spoken before, my wife has had it. It's a horrible, horrible thing to come down with. She got over it. Not everyone is fortunate as she was. I think she's year 4 now, cancer-free. But there is rumor, there is talk that maybe there is something out there that's going to be a huge, huge blessing for folks that have it. And golly, I hope that's true. We do. A few things that are happening today. Let's take a look at events around the area that are happening this morning. Cornhole tournament. It's going to be out at the Chamberville MPC Youth Cornhole Tournament happening today. If y'all would like to know more about that, starts at 9 a.m. It's already underway there. Proceeds go to help the youth trip there. Hope you made it out for that $20 to enter that. Later on today, 5 until 9 p.m. tonight, downtown Meridian, you can travel around the world by tasting a wide variety of dishes. It'll be there tonight, 5 to 9. 5th Street is where it will take place. Hope you can make it out for that. A gospel singing will come on tonight at 6 o'clock to benefit the church. The Crimson City Quartet will be there. Oak Grove Baptist Church, 801 Oak Grove Drive is where that is. Passed by it many times. Hope you can go by and help. That'll help save the church there. And we do have this going on out at Dalewood today. It will kick off at 11 o'clock to benefit Michaela Castleman. She was in that horrible car wreck, if y'all remember. They've got plates being sold 11 until 2 p.m. And again, that's going to be at Dalewood there at Gigi's Boutique in the parking lot. Hope you can help that out. Now, tomorrow, we've also got one of many that are up and coming when it comes to fall festivals. As we take a look here, 5 to 7 p.m. at Midway Baptist Church, if you can make it out for that. There's no chance of rain. It's all going to be happening there. Hope you can make it out and enjoy yourself with that. Now, there are tons that are coming up next week. If you've got one, I'd love to hear from you as things will get underway. A candlelight vigil. Here's one that is going to be on the 20th as we bring this up here. Care Lodge hosting a candlelight vigil in honor of domestic violence victims. That's going to happen at the Care Lodge on 23rd Avenue. That's on 20th at 6 p.m. One of the things, and there's a lot of different things that are going to be helping to help babies. I'm seeing here. Let's go ahead and this will be that Friday. Just one more as we begin today. This is going to be to help Rich Harper Terrell, Phi Delta Kappa. If you can help out with that, $10 chicken plates. They're selling the plates through the 17th, and it will be happening next Friday. So many of those. And if you've got a benefit, we'd love to hear from you to help you out. and all of your folks. All right, let's get to the forecast this morning and find out exactly what's going to happen over the weekend as we head toward some colder weather. All that's next as we get this forecast well underway.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back, record highs, record lows, it was 2018. We had a warm day today, 91 degrees. 1978, I was a mere youngster, but it was at freezing when you woke up back in 78. 32 degrees on this date. As we look across today, as we said, perfect weather for Meridian and all the surrounding areas. 85 today is our high, even through Philadelphia, up through Stark, Vegas, and Columbus Air Force Base. A little warmer to the south. Natchez will hit 88, as well as Vicksburg, down to Hattiesburg at 87. Now over to our east in Tuscaloosa, 86, Birmingham 84. We'll get 85 in Demopolis, as well as we'll hit 85 right there showing up in Livingston, Alabama. Keep in mind, not a great fire day at all. Hold off on burning anything if you can. Heed those local burn bans. I know Noxubee County has a burn ban. We're looking at all areas. The wind can catch it. Next thing you know, you've got a fire, and you have to call somebody to help out. As we look at forecast of what's happening nationwide with temperatures, here's what we've got as we pull this up. The 6 to 10 day outlook. Mississippi still cooler. Below in Georgia and eastern Alabama and portions of Florida up to the Carolinas. Warmer out west as we've been seeing that trend lately. All right, let's look at this. Our next 7 days as we hit 84 to 85 today, depending on where you are. 56 for a low tonight. We had, I think, 50 when I got up earlier this morning. 84 will roll in on Sunday. 59 for a low. A little bit warmer at nighttime there. But now let's look at our drastic change of what's going to happen in the overnight hours. To Monday's back to work high, only 74. So we're going to be 10 degrees cooler on Monday than we are tomorrow. The low will hit 41 on Monday night. As we go into Tuesday, this is where I warn you, take care of your pets, your babies, those little fur babies. Tuesday, 57 for a high. That's going to be nippy. You'll have to have a little jacket there. Down to 33 on Tuesday night. That's right there at that freezing degree mark. And as we all know, it could dip lower. This is forecast. It's Mother Nature. She could decide to go to 32, 31. We don't know. As Wednesday comes along, not much better, 60 for a high, and still chilly outside. 34 will be the low. Warms up a tad as we'll hit 65 on Thursday there, but still the nighttime low, 41. By Friday, we got a high of 72. Now, let's go one more week into this as I'm looking at the 15th. We're halfway through October. Look at this. Now, we've got 79 for a high on the 22nd. We're not going to top 80 all the way through the 29th. We'll have days of about 72. We're heading into that perfect weather stage through Mississippi. We do have a chance of showers, and again, if you're a deer hunter and wanting to plant, the next time will be the 26th to get that seed in the ground by the 25th. Possibly a little rain there, getting all the way to 40% chance there. But not bad weather at all as we look at this. If you had to pick it, this would be that time of year. But again, chilly. Let's go to the tropics and take a look what we've got out there. Really nothing happening. Carl is about fizzed out. He's at 29 miles an hour this morning, moving southwest at 5 miles an hour and move back in. We're looking here. This has got up to 20% chance as of this morning, 0% chance of this becoming anything. That's good news. Now, as this will wind down the tropics in November, keep in mind what happens next in the south. We will move into, and next week will be preparedness week, severe weather preparedness week, as we get ready for November. Tornadic seasons move back into the south again. We'll be here through all of this. They will get pretty heavy there. November, December is a spike. And then as we go into January and February, there's still a chance of them. And then come March is when we pick back up, getting big chances. March, April, May, and into June. But we got a high chance coming up with November and December. Keep it in mind. We'll be here to walk you through all of that each and every time there's weather. Now, let's find out about fishing as we head out to Chet's Paint and Body this morning. He tells us first major time of fishing was, well, right there at daylight. You'll get another chance this afternoon from 5:40 right at 6 o'clock through 8 o'clock. We'll call it that. Fish won't know that 20 minutes, will they? Head out and enjoy yourself. Light southwest wind increasing 5 to 10 is the way it will be today. Again, watch that burning. A quick look at what we've got going on now. So that didn't sound right, did it? Should something else come up today, we'll be here behind the scenes to let you know, posted, so you'll be aware of it. All on the way today. Thank y'all for coming by and visiting with us as we begin our weekend. Nice weather as we're looking at 9:32 right now. Thanks so much for making this such a success. Can't do it without you each and every day. We're going to be back Monday morning live at 6:30, and then we'll have another show at 8 as we'll go live on television as well. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the above. Make sure to join us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and add. Just be there with us. You'll get an extra way to follow us. Thanks so much, and we'll be here. Thank you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: